How's everybody doing? Welcome to the channel, Normal Guys Supercar, where today we're going to do some spacers on my 430.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, I'm Josh. This is our dealership here. And recently we've been getting a lot of questions about wheel spacers for some reason. I don't know why. We've sold quite a few sets recently and had some questions, and so reached out to our vendor that we sell them with, and he sent us a set, and I'm gonna go through and unbox it and put them on this car and kind of show you what the deal is. All right, so basically, if you don't know, which you probably do because you're watching this video, but wheel spacer just pushes the wheel out a little bit, and if you look here, see how the wheel's kind of sucked in a little bit? I absolutely hate that look. It's not as bad on the back. The challenge wheels, for some reason, accentuate it because they kind of stick out a little bit. You can see on like a regular 430, we've got one over here. The wheels are a little sucked in. I like to have the wheels perfectly flush with the fender right there, and that's what I'm shooting for on my car. Take the wheels off one at a time, put the spacer on, put new lug nuts on, and we'll see what it looks like. But just so you get an idea of what it looks like right now before we do the spacers. All right, here we go. We've got our package from Exotic Car Gear. That's our vendor. You can buy these on our website, normalguysupercar.com. Email us if you have any questions about spacing, different cars, use different sizes, look better, whatever. There's a lot of different combos. So what we have here is I'm going with 15 millimeter on the front and back. So that means it's going to make the wheel stick out 15 millimeters further than it already does. And so here's what the spacers look like. They're aluminum alloy. These are really good quality. Hub centric. Got their logo on them. They're black. So it should look pretty good. Basically they just go on there, and then you put the wheel back on and you're good to go. So I went with the titanium lug nuts. These are the Ferrari style, like OEM style, two-piece titanium lug nuts. If you're gonna put spacers on, you have to keep in mind that since you're pushing the wheel out 15 millimeters, the lug nut needs to be 15 millimeters longer so that all of the teeth, so that it grabs better. Because if you use the factory lug nuts with the spacers, you're only gonna have a few of these teeth grabbing and you could lose a wheel, and I've seen it happen before. I actually had a friend in college that did that, and I was following him and we were going around a sharp turn, and his wheel literally flew off the front of his front left wheel flew off of his car. So that was funny. And these are like half the weight of the stock regular lug nuts. So these are pretty cool. So we've got a full set of those, and then when you buy the kit, this is pretty cool. You get a little pouch here. You're gonna get the actual tool that you torque these down with, that goes on a torque wrench or whatever, and then they give you two wheel spacers, or wheel centering things. So when you take one lug nut off, I'll show you later, you just stick that in there, and so that way you can slide the wheel off and you don't damage your rotors or anything. So that's pretty cool. It comes with those too. One note with the titanium lug nuts, you cannot use an impact gun on these. You have to tighten them by hand. You shouldn't be using an impact gun to tighten lug nuts anyway. So we've got those two spacers, we've got the rest of the lug nuts, and then we've got our other two spacers here and our toolkit. So we'll just do one wheel at a time. I'm just gonna do it old school and jack it up with a jack. We'll start with the front left, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. A few other things I wanted to note real quick. I think we offer these in 10, 15, and 20 millimeter, so you can get them in different sizes. Some people like them to stick out real far or whatever. I just want it flush, so you can do whatever. You can also get these in black if you like. I think this list price on these from Ferrari is like $220 each, so they're significantly cheaper and the quality's just as good. All right, so we're gonna take the lug nuts off. I use these special sockets that are wrapped in like a plastic just to protect the inside of the wheel where the lug nuts are. So we'll zap those up, jack it up, and zap them off. This is a 7/8. You could also use a 22 millimeter. All right, so these were the little posts. You undo the lug nuts but one, and then stick one in, and that way when you slide the wheel off, it just kind of... We have a visitor. Well, he's not a visitor, he's a permanent resident until it's sold, but look what we got back. Does that look familiar?
Oh dude, it's such a turd. Such a fun turd though, because you can just beat the snot
If anybody's interested, almost free.
Almost free. We gotta pull the valves.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
It's really quiet. The parking brake doesn't work.
I don't think the parking brake works. Anyways, back to what we were doing. All right, so now we're gonna grab the spacer. These are super lightweight, insignificant weight add. Stick it on there. That's it. And then we put the wheel back on. And then torque everything down and lower it, and we're done. Super easy. Not hard at all. Anybody can do it at home. All right, so we got the new lug nuts pre-tightened. Now, according to the service manual, which is right here, you're supposed to pre-tighten them to 25 to 45 Newton meters and then final tightening 100. So I just tighten them down a little bit to get the wheel nice and snug and everything set in place, then lower it and then torque it down. So that's what we're gonna do, and I got my torque wrench here set for 100 Newton meters. All right, so we got the lug nuts torqued down to spec, and I got the front and back on, so kind of get a better idea now. See how it's pretty much right on the money. Flush, the back is almost perfect. Now, this bothers me right here, this wheel gap, so I'm gonna take care of that at some point. I want the tire to be almost flush with the fender. And also, because it was jacked up, the shock is decompressed. So once you drive it, it'll lower down a little bit. And you can see the front there's pretty good. It's pretty on point. I like it. Just need to lower it a little bit and we'll be all set. So I'm gonna do the other side now. I got both sides done. Take a look at the other side. It's nice and flush. Still a little bit of gap in the front. Not too bad. We'll get an alignment done, get it lowered first, and then do an alignment. It'll be good. That back looks really good though. So we got the spacers all done. Everything came out good. I was doing some other stuff on the car, but just wanted to wrap this up real quick. So as you can see, they do make a difference. You're gonna get much lighter lug nuts, are about half the weight. You're adding the weight of the spacer, so the weight is, I don't know, probably negligible difference. It doesn't matter. You have less rotating mass because these are spinning. I don't know. I don't really know on all that. It just looks better, so I'm cool with it. So if you're interested in those, we'll have them on our website. We're actually redoing our website right now, so keep an eye on that. It's getting migrated over to Shopify. So if you're interested and they're not on our website, just send us an email, sales@normalguysupercar.com. We'll get you set up and get them for any Ferrari. We have the 430, we've done them on the 360, we've done them on the 458s. They all take the same size roughly. So if you have any questions, just email us. Like, share, and subscribe to the video, and thanks for watching.